Come, let us explore. This dawns meditation class and group practice, that we too could meditate like a Jedi. This morning's lesson is the basis of this morning's lesson is the 24th passage of the Unwaning Victory Banner, a meditation classic composed many centuries ago by the great Buddhist reformer Vajra. Together, let us relaxingly recite. The here and now is the universal path for all. It manifests as both the moon and its reflection. As its nature is all-pervading, it cannot be realized by those actively looking for specific features. This is only going to make sense within the context of the basic teachings. So let's take a look at that right now. Let's see here. I'm going to have to adjust something on my control panel, but my, I forgot what it's called. Give me a second so I can adjust something on my computer. Please bear with me. Okay. Okay, I think that's going to work a little bit better. Let's go over here. Okay. So one of the things that is mentioned in the tail end of this morning's passage is that the truth does not reveal itself in response to active searching. Now, for me and you and most of us, that can seem counterintuitive. For most of us, we're raised according to the right. You see, Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sex, and that suckiness can be described as the right, or as yang, or as patriarchy. And those on the right are conditioned to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. It should therefore come as little surprise that the majority of teachers who are likewise conditioned implore their students to over-focus and over-analyze. Focusing and analyze and reliance upon our medial and dorsolateral prefrontal cortices is best done I want to say incrementally, but that's not the right word. Less is more when it comes to focus and analysis. When we overwork our prefrontal cortex, we begin presenting with symptoms of depression and wind up triggering our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. Fortunately, neither the amygdala nor the prefrontal cortex constitute the entirety of our central nervous system. Our spinal cord is known by the fancy term autonomic nervous system. The ancients referred to it as our Buddha nature. Why is that? Every time we inhale, we have evolved to automatically access the middle part of our spinal cord, described as our sympathetic nervous system. This bad boy has evolved to help us to notice in a very special way, to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, which is antithetical to the rigidity and controlling tendencies of the right, and in harmony with the flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind tendencies of the left, also known as yin or spiritual matriarchy. What is it we have evolved to notice? We have evolved to notice whatever comes up, be it external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque, including our perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. But what do we do with that which we notice? Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access the end bits of that same spinal cord, known as our parasympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system. These bad boys have evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation to such a degree that they fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining. And if you prefer figures of speech, we have evolved to release them to the degree that they feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, feels non-graspable to the hand. Now you might say, it feels like we're being told not to focus and not to analyze. So here's the great irony. By cooperating passively with both facets of our autonomic nervous system, we calm the aggression and anxiety of our amygdala and gently stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, that which uses dread to create compassion and desire to create love. The more we practice mindfulness and meditation in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation, the more our choices, utterances, and deeds flow, not from contrivance, not from scatteredness, but from a centered spontaneity. When our ability to focus, when our ability to analyze flow as tools, as instruments of our centered spontaneity, then they could serve us very, very well. When we try to use them in lieu of centered spontaneity, they do more harm than good. Now that oh yes, there's one more thing that would be useful. Now that we know all these facts, how do we apply them? The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. And the most efficient way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Now let's return to the lesson text, which is, by the way, available for free download. The here and the now is the universal path for all that manifests as both the moon and its reflection. So we can see the moon in the sky, and we can reach for it, but we cannot grasp it. We can see the moon reflected in the water, and we can touch the reflection. It's not the moon, it's just the reflection, but we can't touch it. That reminds us that we're capable of noticing during each inhalation and relaxing during each exhalation. This capacity to experience the conventional and the ultimate, the tangible and the intangible, is available to all complex life forms with a fully functional central nervous system. It's not a members only club. This is antithetical to elitism, which is why the Buddha taught that one could master his path in as little as 7 days. As its nature is all-pervading, it cannot be realized by those looking for specific features. Preconceptions, if thought of as just temporary things, are fine. But when we hold on to our preconceptions with white-knuckle intensity, then we're like the guy who steps over $1 to pick up a penny. We're like the guy who misses the forest for the trees. In a previous passage, in the 21st passage, we are warned that a gradual path, an incremental path, is a trap. The only thing that works is a sudden path. The more we notice and relax, at least once every 12 hours or so, the more we will automatically find ourselves practicing the remaining 6 folds of the Buddha's 8-fold path. And within a very short time, we can find ourselves mastering this path, getting so good at this path that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. This is the enlightenment the Buddha offers all of us, whether he is real or merely archetypical. All of us, armed with our central nervous system, have the capacity to master awareness and release to such a degree that it frees us from our childish assumptions that things last forever, or that we need to compete with others, or that we need to be controlling and workaholics. This path is easy. You just learn how to practice it pleasurably and efficiently. Having completed our opening lesson, we could now shift gears. It is Luke Skywalker Friday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Senri Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi. which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let's play with the techniques I mentioned during the opening lesson, techniques that are available in practice text available for free download simply by going to my download page, whose link is found in the description area below the video. Everything I do is free. You'll notice when looking at this photograph of Kamakura Daibutsu statue that the shoulders are open. The back is subtly rounded. I've learned the hard way that that's more sustainable for our skeletal system, that it is sitting like a Marine at full attention. And I found that there's a special type of planking exercise that we can use as a preliminary practice that could help us sit more sustainably. So the first thing we're going to do is remember that we can arrange our hands. We can describe a diamond between our thumbs and index fingers. We're going to assume a planking posture using the diamond gesture, the level of our diaphragm. We're going to step forward with one leg and then the other, thrusting our hips through productively, gazing at our toes. We can arrange our legs comfortably, and we can let our we can allow our spine to describe the bow of an arrow, or an archer's bow, if you will. The most efficient way to keep track of our first collection of 144 inhalations is to rest the first knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Upon the three creases on each of the four fingers of our right hand can help us to keep track of the next 4 inhalations. Upon the 3 sets of creases of the 4 fingers of our left hand, we could count 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. I will check for questions periodically. Excuse me. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 1/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.